So hello my dear students, I'm back once again with next video. In my earlier video I started the chapter called Cell, and now I shall continue with the topics that were explained in my previous video. So in my last video I had told regarding the discovery of the cell and how cell becomes as the basic unit of life. Now in this video I shall be discussing with you all regarding the organization of the cell. Alright? Organization of the cell is how the cell is arranged in our body. Whether it is the only cell that exists in our body and that leads to sustain our life. That we need to see. Organization of the cell. That means how the cells are organized in our body. Alright? That we need to focus. Now you see, if you look into this is called as the flow chart. Alright? This is called as the flow chart. That means cells to tissues, tissues to organ, organ to organ system, and finally it's the organ system that develops into an organism. So this is called as the flow chart. Alright, serially hierarchical arrangement. Hierarchical arrangement. That means from small to big. That is called as your hierarchical arrangement. So from cells to tissues, from tissues to organ, and then to organ system. That means, as I told in my previous video, that life begins with a single cell. Alright, when life has started, even at the mother's womb, alright, there is a single cell. Alright, in the coming chapter, that is reproduction, you will come to know regarding as how cell unites to give a shape to a new cell. That we shall be discussing in our subsequent chapter, reproduction. But before moving into this, we should understand that the cell is the basic unit of life without which life is not able to sustain. Now, in this, we shall discuss as this tissue. First of all, talking about the cells, as we have already spoken, that this is the unit, basic unit of life. Alright, so let us see how these tissues are formed. A group of cells unite to form a tissue. Alright, that means a cluster or a group of cells unites together to form a tissue. Alright, first of all, let us see as how this arrangement is being done. That means a group of cells unites to form a tissue. A group of, next, after this, once the tissue is formed, that means one tissue is formed. How one tissue is formed? That means group of many cells have combined together to give or to form one tissue. Alright, a single tissue is formed by a group of many cells. Coming to next is as how an organ, alright, an organ is formed. Here you see a group of same or different types of tissue. Alright, same or different types of tissue forms the organ. That means an organ will now, organ, as you know, your heart is an organ, liver is your organ, alright, lungs is your organ, brain is your organ, alright, even the nose is an organ. So all these are organs. Now these organs, how they will be formed? When a group of same or it may be different, alright, same or different types of tissue forms the organ. Alright, a group of same or different types of tissue forms the organ. This is what you should know. This is what I'm explaining basically regarding the flow chart. This is the flow chart. I am repeating once again as what is this? This is an hierarchical arrangement or a flow chart of hierarchical arrangement of the cells, tissues, organ and organ system. Now you see a group of same or different types of tissues forms the organs. So by now you know what is this organ, and most of you recognize, all right, most of you recognize as what is meant by organ. A hand is an organ, a nose is an organ, eye is your organ, ears are your organ, all right. Legs are your organ, your stomach as a whole is an organ, all right. Even the chest is your organ. But if you match up the liver and the heart, it's never going to match. It's never going to match. Why? Because you know the tissues present in the heart are not same as that of the tissues present in the liver. So it will definitely differ, all right. It will definitely differ, that the tissues or the cells present in your heart is not the same as that of the cells or tissues present in your liver. That is the reason why it is mentioned here, a group of same or different types of tissue forms the organ. It may be same or may not be same. Coming to next, a group of different organs. Now let me first of all read it out. A group of different organs forms the organ system. All right. I repeat once again, you see, a group of different organ forms the organ system. So that means this is a combination of different organs. If I talk regarding the circulatory system, so this is an example of organ system. When I talk about circulatory system, I am talking about organ system, a particular organ system. So in the circulatory system, what are the components? That means what are the organs involved for the circulation? All right, within the circulatory system, what are the organs involved for circulation? Number one is your heart, which is the pumping organ. All right, which is the pumping organ, which pumps out the blood. All right, that is the first organ. Next comes your arteries. You may find the arteries over here. The tightened vessels are called as your arteries. The third one is your veins. The soft vessels are called as your veins. All right, arteries, veins. And the fourth important component is the blood. Again, there are minute vessels which are interconnected with one cell to another cell. All right, there are minute, very small, even thinner than that of a hair. All right, even thinner than that of a hair are the vessels which are called as arteries. All right, which are called as arteries. So within the circulatory system, which is an example of organ system, the circulatory system that is I'm talking about is an example of organ system. All right. So within this example of organ system, that is the circulatory system, what are the organs? Heart is the organ. Number two, arteries are the organs. Number three, veins are the organs. Next, what all are these? Capillaries. These are called the fine hair-like structure of vessels are called as the capillaries. All right, capillaries. If I have told you by mistake that is artery regarding the thinner vessels as artery, let me correct it out and tell you that these are the tightened vessels where there is a huge flow of blood, that is called as the artery. The softened vessels are called as your veins, and the hair-like vessels which are very, very much thin and are responsible for interconnections in between the cells are called as capillaries. All right, capillaries. You note it down very correctly that this is called as the capillaries. The thin hair-like structures are called as your capillaries. Now to talk about this circulatory system, what I was talking about, the circulatory system is that these are the organs. Arteries, veins, capillaries, heart, blood itself. All these are what? Your organs. So what you get? Number one is your heart, number two artery, number three veins, number three capillaries, and number five is your blood. So these all are a part. All right, these are all organs maybe, right? So these are all organs which are associated together, and they are forming what? The organ system. Now the last aspect which leads to the formation of an organism, is that different organ system unites to form an organism. So different organ system will unite together and ultimately form what? An organism. So in this way, we are not only concerned about circulatory system, digestive system. The part is your liver, okay? Next is your maybe small intestine, the large intestine, even the esophagus forms the part, the food pipe also forms the part of the digestive system. To talk about excretory system, the kidneys are one of the major organs of the excretory system. Alright, so there are various systems in our body which are actually regulating the life of an organism. Alright, so various systems are responsible. That is the reason why it is mentioned here as different organ system ultimately unites to form an organism. So for the formation of an organism, different organ systems are required. So this is the flowchart, or rather the organizations of the cell, or how the cells are arranged. Specifically what we need to talk about this organization of cell is present in case of multicellular organism. In case of multicellular, we may not get the same type of organization in an unicellular organism. Alright, in case of unicellular organism, we will not find it, because when we talk about unicellular organism, we understand that it comprises of only one cell. However, in multicellular organism, it comprises of many cells, and as such, many cells, many functions, many forms. Alright, so organization of the cell is basically seen in case of multicellular organisms. In my next video, I shall be discussing regarding some unicellular as well as multicellular organisms, the different types of unicellular organisms, or how they exist, alright, or what brings the difference in between a unicellular organism as well as multicellular organism. Till then, watch the video carefully, sincerely, and follow my next story. Thank you.